12 years of my life, I didn't know I was Nigerian and I lived in Nigeria. Here's the interesting part. My mom is Nigerian. Some of y'all might just realized why I said so with those three sentences. A lot of people would ask, is this even possible? Like, how can't you not know your nationality? Especially when you grew up there, okay? And even if some people in my situation wouldn't get the reason exactly. But honestly, I really didn't know I was Nigerian culturally until I came to Romania, which was after the 12 years. And I even had to wait some months to digest in the whole facts, okay? So I grew up like most Nigerian children, okay? I grew up with the accents. I played a lot. Like I was the roughest kid among my peers. And I learned pidgin fluently. Like I was most of the time I was the only considered foreigner in my school, okay? So I braided my hair like others, I didn't like I followed the rules and so on. So around my community, I behaved like any other Nigerian. Although I did have restrictions, and some of these restrictions also apply to a lot of young girls about my age as of then, but not so strictly. So, due to a lot of safety laws, some of our parents could just be like, don't go out alone, don't go out at night, and so on. Although for me, I I barely went out. Okay, maybe I only came out once a month and I would never go out alone. So here's the thing. I had more facts that covered up I was Nigerian and possibly even more Nigerian than Romanian. So why exactly didn't I process all of this while growing up and only focusing on the whole part of okay, because you're considered a foreigner, you are more prone to insecurity than average Nigerians, and other factors that they just considered in people calling me Oyibo repeatedly. Well, the main reason to this was simply patriarchy. I would give almost anything, anything for this mindset to shift with a lot of people because up until today, I am still not necessarily arguing because why am I giving you my time to argue these days at least? But yeah, I am still like seeing people telling me that I am Romanian and I am not Nigerian or why am I doing Nigerian things just because my dad is the Romanian. Like growing up, even though I grew up just like almost every Nigerian, I would always be seen as a Romanian. Even if my pidgin was perfect, okay, perfect, a lot of people would still find ways to criticize it and be like, it sounds weird, or you're just trying to form, or you're just trying to fit in, or you're trying too hard. And honestly, if you hear it, I am not. Like, it just flows naturally. You get what I'm saying? Some people who don't know me personally would tell you that it sounds just like an average Nigerian. But those who are the closest to me are usually the ones who seem to find it weird. Now, I didn't find out by seeing my passport. I didn't even know I had a Nigerian passport, bruh. Like, I was a kid. I haven't really held most of my documents, like preserved them by myself, even up until today, most of them. So I wouldn't really know. I didn't even know I had a Romanian passport either. But I do know that I had been to the Romanian embassy, which for me, another reason why I always believed that I was only Romanian, okay? Around me, everyone made me believe that where your dad is from is where you're from. Growing up in Nigeria, no one ever told me that, where your mom is from, you're also from. And not necessarily like just told me. In general, it's not really something that a lot of people, I guess, processed because I don't know, like it's a fatherland, I guess. So even when I came to Romania, I didn't know that I am not just Romanian or that I am Nigerian. It's kind of like even if you get married legally and you don't do anything traditional in Nigeria, you're not considered married. That is how the situation looks like in my case. So what can I say? Really, it's been a long journey, and all of that is over. All that, should I say, identity crisis? I don't know if I should call that an identity crisis, but it had to do with identity for sure. Honestly, I am happy that I grew up in so many ways, learning who I truly am, and still learning who I am, in many ways. So I guess that's it. Find where you're from. Okay, don't wait for 10, 12 years before you acknowledge your maternal parts or your paternal parts. And here's another fun part here is that when I came to Romania, Romania is a motherland. Some people have argued with me that where your mother is from is where you're from. So you see, I come from two countries where one of them believes where, okay, my mom's country believes that where my dad is from is where I'm from. And my dad's country believes that where my mother is from is where I'm from. So in my head, this is just a cultural stuff, by the way. So in my head, where am I from? You see the kind of confusion all of this causes? Like, I don't even know if I know patriarchy is in one of them for sure, but like, can't we all just agree that you're from two places and end the discussion? I don't get it honestly, but I really hope all of this changes. If you want more videos like this, please kindly subscribe. If you have anything to share, you can comment down below and like, share. Goodbye.